Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be doing a 30-minute yoga class. So I'm really excited to see you here, and I'm really excited and happy that you took the opportunity to take a few minutes from your day to join me to practice and just to reconnect with yourself. I do want you to take this time to breathe in and out just for a few minutes. Feel free to take as many as you need. If you need a longer time, take it, and if you need less time, you can forward the video to the beginning of the actual class. Remember that this is your time to reconnect with yourself, and it is up to you how long you actually take at the beginning of the class to breathe, calm down, and connect with your feelings. Don't worry, because I will let you know when the class started. So just close your eyes and I'll come back to you when we're ready. Okay, amazing. Now that we have taken a few minutes to breathe, I want you to go to the front of the mat and then put your hands beside your body. Remember to stay straight. Remember to keep your hands looking towards your legs, and then when you're ready, we're gonna go up towards the ceiling, sort of like saying hi to the sun, and then going down. We touch the mat, then we look up, still touching the mat, and then we go and we jump if you can, but just try to go into a plank position. Remember to look towards the mat. We'll take the time here, just stay and enjoy the plank position just for a few seconds. Okay, when you're ready, we're gonna lower our knees, look forward and tuck your toes in, and then from there we're gonna go to the front, vinyasa, so your boobs, your chin and your knees are touching the mat, and then everything else is elevated. From there we're gonna go into a cobra position, looking up and then down to downward facing dog. So we're gonna be staying here for a few seconds. Try to enjoy the position and just reconnect to yourself and see how you actually feel. Remember that your head has to be as close as possible to your legs without actually, feeling too uncomfortable. Don't try to force yourself, just do whatever you can. We're gonna be staying in this position for a couple of seconds, so try to enjoy yourself and enjoy the stretch that you are performing to your body right now. Don't worry, I will let you know when we're ready to proceed. When you're ready, we're gonna go back to the front of the mat and we're gonna do that same exercise all over again. So look up, down, towards, sort of like looking to your knees, and then we're gonna say hi to the sun, sort of like if we wanted to touch the ceiling. And now we're gonna bend down again and then look forwards without losing the position. Now we're gonna go back into plant. Perfect, you're doing amazing. And we're gonna be holding here for a few seconds. Now when you're ready, we're gonna back into chaturanga, and remember that our chin, our chest and our knees are gonna be the only part of your body touching the mat for a few seconds. And then when you're ready, we're gonna go into like sort of cobra, and then we're facing dog again. On this occasion, we're gonna be moving, sort of like walking while we're on downward facing dog, just so we can get a better stretch in our legs. And then when we're ready, I'll let you know, because we're gonna be doing the same exercise once again. Okay, when you're ready, find your way towards the top of the mat again, because we are gonna be repeating this series. Once again, while touching the mat, look up and down, then say hi to the sun or to the ceiling, and then go down again, touch your mat, look up and down, find your way to the plant position, and then from there we are gonna be sort of like staying here for a second or two, and then we're gonna be moving up and down in the same plant position for a few seconds. And now when you're ready, we're gonna go back into chaturanga, up into cobra, and then downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, we're gonna go back to the front of the mat and we are gonna do the same again. So the same positions, looking up towards the ceiling, down, touching the mat, looking forward, going down, and then going back into plant. This time, while on plant, we're gonna be moving towards our side, so like sort of like a dancing movement, and we're gonna do that for a few seconds. Now get ready, because we're gonna do a side plant with our right hand touching the mat and our left hand towards the ceiling. Remember to breathe, and we're gonna stay here for a few seconds. If you want a more advanced position, you can put your leg up towards your thigh or just towards the ceiling as well. Now we're gonna go back into plant position, and we're gonna do the same in the other side. When you're ready, we're gonna go back into chaturanga, cobra, and downward facing dog. Amazing, you are doing so well, and I hope you are enjoying this class. Okay, and when you're ready, we're gonna go towards the top of the mat again. We're gonna look up towards the ceiling, sort of like saying hi to the sun position. Remember to breathe in and out. And then we're gonna go back again, touching the mat, looking forward, looking down to your knees, and then finding our way again towards plant. This time we're gonna be doing mountain climbers while on plant, only for a few seconds. Ideally, you wanna touch your knee with your elbow, sort of like a mountain climber. So do it as fast as you can, but try to touch it on each side every time you do it. And when you're ready, we're gonna go back into chaturanga, then into cobra, and finally we are gonna go back into downward facing dog. Remember to breathe, and ideally we want to stay in that position for a few seconds before we change. Feel free to go into child's pose so you can give your back and your whole body a little rest. And now when you're ready, we will continue once again. We're gonna go towards the front of the mat. We're gonna look up and then down towards the mat. And then we are actually gonna go into chair's pose. Sort of like sitting with our arms all the way up next to our ears. Amazing, perfect. Remember, go as low as you can for better results. And now we're gonna be going into our toes, sort of like the tip of our toes, if you can, and we're gonna do a few pulses. I will let you know when we stop. Well done, you are doing amazing, and I hope that you are feeling the burn. I certainly did. Now we're gonna go back into plant, then going down into cobra and lower facing dog for a few seconds. Now we're actually gonna put our leg up. It is a right leg. for a few seconds. And then now when you're ready, we're gonna do some pulses. So we're gonna go up and down with our right leg. Now bring your leg backwards, sort of like looking to the ceiling, and then bring it in between your hands if you can. If not, you can help yourself. Warrior one. Amazing. You are all doing fantastic. And we're gonna stay here and hold the position for a few seconds. From here, our arms are actually gonna go into cactus, and hopefully you're gonna feel that stretch. Then we're gonna interlace our fingers behind our back, and we're gonna go and look towards the ceiling, and then looking down as much as you can towards the mat. Hopefully your shoulder is gonna be touching your knee. Let go and put your hands towards your mat, so they're gonna be inside next to your right leg. From here, I actually want you to try to interlace your hands in that position behind your back. Just do what you can. If you are not allowed to do it, it's fine, but at least I want you to try, only for a few seconds. But remember, you have to breathe in and out. You can't just be holding your breath. You have to breathe in and out while you're on the position. In fact, you have to control your breathing during the whole class. When you're ready, we're gonna get out of that position slowly, and from there we actually wanna go up. So like with your left leg, try to put it up as I'm doing in the video. If you need help from your other hand, do it, but ideally you're only gonna be standing on the mat with your right leg. If you can't, feel free to touch the mat, that my friends at the background, but if not, try to not. I remember I do want you to challenge yourself, so even if you feel that you can't, I want you to try. From there, we are gonna go into warrior 2, only for a few seconds, and then we're gonna go and touch the mat with both our hands, and then we're gonna take a right leg sort of like towards the ceiling again. So we're gonna be doing a downward facing dog, but only with one leg, because our right leg is gonna be looking towards the ceiling. From there, we're gonna be doing a chaturanga with, again, our legs looking towards the ceiling, then cobra, and then downward facing dog. And when you're ready, we're gonna be doing the exact same, but on the left hand side. So again, we're gonna stay into downward facing dog with our left leg looking towards the ceiling, only for a few seconds. Now we're gonna be doing pulses with that leg for a few seconds. And then we're gonna stretch all the way back, and then bring the left leg in between our hands. Then warrior 1. Great, you are doing perfect. Hold it in, breathe in and out. And when you're ready, we're gonna go back into cactus pose. Stretch your back, and then interlace your fingers and look towards the ceiling. Now look towards the side, and then your body has to actually be touching your knee. So ideally your shoulder has to be touching your knee while you look down and interlace your fingers. And then from there, I want you to try to interlace your fingers again with your left leg, looking down the mat. Remember, we're going to be holding this position for a few seconds, and remember to breathe in and out. When you're ready, let go of the position slowly. Remember to not hurt yourself, so take as long as you need. And now we're gonna be sort of like touching the mat, and then from here we're gonna be trying to stand only using our left leg like we did before, and try to hold the position at least for 5 deep breaths. Amazing. Remember that even if you lose balance, it doesn't matter. You can always hold onto the mat like my friends are doing at the background. Or if you lose your balance, take a second and then go back into it. And then when you're ready, we're gonna go back into Warrior 2. Remember to flex your knee, your left knee, look forward. And now we're gonna go finding our way towards plank position. But remember, it's gonna be plank position only with our right leg and our left leg up. Then we're gonna go into Chaturanga and then into Cobra. Now we're gonna go towards downward facing dog, and we're gonna stay here for a few seconds. Enjoy, breathe, and when you're ready, take a rest and go into child's pose. Okay, when you're ready, get up towards downward facing dog, and then from there we're gonna find our way towards the front of the yoga mat, and we're gonna go up, sort of like looking towards the ceiling. Big stretch, come on, you can do it. And now down into child's pose. Remember that your arms have to be parallel to your ears. And now I want you to touch your hands, sort of like pray position, towards your chest and your heart, and we are going to be twisting towards our left side. From there, I want you to take your opposite leg behind you. So if you did the left side, take your right leg, and if you did the right side, then take the left leg. Sort of like a Warrior 1, but with the twist. So keep looking to the middle, and remember, try to keep and bend the position for as long as you can, and breathe. I'll let you know when we're ready. Okay, now we are gonna be taking our leg to the back, sort of like downward facing dog position, and then right leg up, then down, and then bring it in between your hands. From here, we're actually gonna go into Warrior 1. Yeah, big stretch. Breathe in and out. And then we are gonna be doing sort of like little pulses towards the ceiling, Warrior 1. Then stretch up towards the ceiling, Warrior 1. Perfect. Keep going, only for a few seconds. Now we're gonna hold the position of Warrior 1, and then we're gonna go up as if someone was sort of like taking us, and then we're gonna do reverse warrior. Look towards the ceiling for a few seconds and then go back to warrior one. Then again towards the front and then down. Try to touch your calf or your ankle if you can, or if you feel that you can do a little bit better, you can always touch the mat. And when you're ready, we're gonna place our hands touching the mat with each hand in between our right leg, and then the second leg is gonna go next to the right leg, and we're gonna go back into chairs pose. Breathe in and out. Amazing. Hold it for a few seconds, and now we're gonna do the same but in the opposite side. So we're gonna place our hands into praying position in our chest, and we're gonna twist to the opposite side. We're gonna hold the position for a few seconds, and now we are gonna take the opposite side leg to the back. So for example, right now I'm doing my left side, and then I'm taking my right leg towards the end of the mat, so like giving a stretch while my left leg is bending, sort of like giving me the support that I need for this position. And we are gonna stay here only for a few seconds. I'll let you know when we're ready. Perfect. Now place your hands towards the mat, and we're gonna go back into downward facing dog, and we're gonna go put our left leg towards the ceiling, now in between our legs and our hands, and we're gonna go into warrior one, and then we're gonna stretch all the way up to the ceiling, then down to warrior one, up, down again, up and down again. Amazing. Keep going. Only a few seconds more. I'll let you know when we're ready. Okay, perfect. From here we are actually gonna go into reverse warrior for a few seconds. Remember to breathe in and out. Going back into warrior one, and now we are gonna touch our calf or mat if you can, or ankle. Remember to look towards the ceiling with your leg extended, sort of like a triangle position. And when you're ready, go back into warrior one for a few seconds. Now go down towards the mat. Try to stay sort of like in a stretch position, and then from there I want you to go into chairs pose once again. Hold the position. We are gonna go up on our tiptoes, and we're gonna hold, then up, down, sort of like looking towards the floor but with our hands towards the ceiling. And now again, chair position. Remember that your feet are up, sort of like in pointed position. And then once again, just do as I'm doing in the video. I'm not actually sure how to explain this position. Again, stay in there, up, down, we're touching the mat, look forward for a few seconds, and now we're gonna go back into plant position, and from there chaturanga, cobra, then downward facing dog. Amazing, guys. You are doing wonderful. Now raise your left leg and try to touch your knee with your nose. I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but I'm sure you can do it. Now stretch it back, and then again try to touch your right neck to your nose. Hold it, and now once again go back, stretch all the way to the ceiling. And now I want you to try to put your right leg in between your arms. Amazing. And now try to sort of like hold this position. Basically, we're just balancing our weight towards our leg side, and we're helping our body or our leg with our hands touching the mat. But if you can, I want you to get your hands towards your leg like I'm doing in the video, and try to remain in balance. And I want your right leg, to be doing all the work for you. And from here we're gonna go back into warrior 1. Now lower your arms and hold your waist, and now pulse. 1, 2, 3, just little ones, only for a few seconds. Come on, I know it hurts and I know it burns, but trust me, this is good for you. Keep going, only a few seconds more. Amazing. We're gonna be holding our right toe, and we're gonna try to do a side plant with our right leg up while we hold it with our right hand, if that makes sense, just as I am doing on the video. Remember to breathe in and out, and remember that if you find it difficult, you need to look towards one specific point. So like for example, in this moment I was looking towards my mat. Now go back into plank position, and then chaturanga, cobra, downward facing dog. And now we're gonna be repeating the same sort of like movement, but with our left hand side. So we're gonna be doing up and then touching our left knee with our nose, and then ceiling again, sort of like stretch, and then go back, touch it with your nose if you can, or as much as you can, and we are going to be repeating that for a few seconds. Okay, when you're ready, bring your left leg towards the middle in between your hands, and then sort of like stay there, sort of like in a plant position. That's going to give you the impulse to go up. So again, the left leg is the one doing all the work. Your right leg is looking like sort of like towards the wall behind you. Your face is actually looking towards the floor, and feel free to do whatever you want with your hands, as they're gonna be the ones giving you the balance that you need to hold the position. But ideally, your leg is the one doing all the work. Now we're moving into warrior 1. From here, again, we are gonna go back into pulses only for a few seconds. I'll let you know when we're ready to change. Amazing. From here we're gonna do the same. So we're gonna do a side plant, and we are actually gonna be holding our thumb with our left hand. So it's gonna be our left leg and our left hand, and it's gonna be a side plant, but as you can see, with your arm and leg like sort of like holding it together. But if you feel that you can't, you can do whatever my friends are doing at the back and just do a normal side plant. But remember, I don't want you to challenge yourself. Now we're gonna go back into chaturanga, cobra, downward facing dog, and from there we're gonna go back into child's videos. Thank you for watching.